45% of school sports facilities are not available to the public. We've got all these amazing football pitches, sports halls and other tennis courts that are locked up behind school gates at evenings and weekends. Meanwhile, we're spending lots of money on building new leisure centres and all the rest of it, but in many cases facilities are already there. In the reality, it's less money, it's much cheaper, I would have thought, and in practice, in examples that I can see locally, to fund an admin person to manage all the bookings for multiple schools than it is to build a new leisure centre at a cost of 14 million, 20 million. January 10th and another chance to talk about school sports facilities. I am off to a debate on sport in schools about PE and all sorts of other stuff. I'm particularly going to raise, again, how do we open up the 40-odd% of facilities stuck behind school gates at evenings and weekends? But one way to increase sports facilities across the country would be ensuring that schools are able to open their sports facilities for that public use. Nearly 45% of schools in state-funded schools don't have that public access, which is a huge missed opportunity to access grassroots sport. I know government's seeking to address this, but that seems to have been going on for a long time, and frankly post-COVID it's gotten worse. I can point to numerous examples in Mansfield in Nottinghamshire of where pressures on school budgets post-COVID have meant that sports facilities have been closed to the community. I mentioned earlier North Notts Hockey Club are homeless currently. That's been the case for 18 months, and that's because the school pitch they used to use is no longer available. The outcome is that football clubs, basketball, hockey, other local classes and clubs are now without a facility, and it's shut just as 45% of other facilities are every night and every weekend. The simplest way, surely, if you want to almost double the number of community sports facilities available nationally, isn't to build new ones, but simply to ensure that the ones that already exist are actually open and available for use outside of those hours. My honourable friend, Sports Minister, mentioned a strategy to fund and focus on hard-to-reach areas. This is a hard-to-reach area, and this is something that could be done. The example at Manor represents a missed opportunity to significantly boost grassroots sport, to meet some of that need, obviously to access all the positive implications it has for the community, like improved physical and mental health. In many cases, facilities already exist. Surely common sense dictates it would be quicker and cheaper to simply open up existing facilities than to build new ones in many cases, particularly in the light of rising costs of those capital projects. It shouldn't be that difficult, and a lot of schools, and we need to be very clear with schools, some don't see it as their job, understandably, some don't have capacity, others just won't help and don't want to help to get it going. So it does require lots of partners to pull together, all be pushing in the same direction, to all prioritise this at the same time.
I'm delighted that my honourable friend, the member for Mansfield, secured this debate to cover the important topic of reopening school sports facilities. I know he's been a long-standing, passionate campaigner in this area, and I think he's been speaking about it ever since he came into Parliament. The Phase 3 funding that we've set out will allow them to ensure that their facilities are more easily accessible to families, other community users and local clubs whilst remaining secure. Since October 2019, the Department for Education has provided £11.7 million to schools to support them to make best use of their sports facilities beyond the core school day and to start to reopen them after the pandemic. The department will also be providing further investment to support to schools to open their sports facilities in the evening at weekends and during the holidays by funding Phase 3 of the programme with up to £57 million over 3 years.